Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be ranking all 7 of the Alien films, and that does not include any of the spin-offs or Alien vs. Predator or anything like that. I'm just going to be ranking the main 7 films. So Alien isn't really a franchise that I was always super into. Like, I sort of got into it a little later. Like, my watching of this franchise in the past couple of weeks has been my first introduction to it, in a sense. I mean, I've seen the first 2, like, years ago, but never paid too much attention to them, if that makes sense. But yeah, now I've seen every single film from Alien all the way up to Romulus, and I'm gonna rank them from worst to best because I want to rant. Okay, so yeah, let's just get into this. So yeah, in last place, I'm gonna put Prometheus, and I know that this is gonna probably cause a lot of controversy. I don't know if that's exactly an answer that a lot of people would agree with, considering movies like Alien 3 and Resurrection exist. But yeah, Prometheus did for me. This movie, oh my god. If you're watching this and you haven't seen Prometheus or you haven't seen any of the other Alien movies, you're probably wondering what I'm talking about here. But I'm just gonna, say my thoughts as if you have seen them all, right? And I'm gonna tell you right now, this movie is not what I want in an Alien movie whatsoever. I mean, they go on and on about this finding the origin of human life, right? You know what, dude? I don't care. I don't care about that. I never have. I never will. It's a dumb question. It doesn't need to be answered. And they really jam it down your throat saying, we gotta answer this question, man. We gotta get to the bottom of this. Every other movie, it has a sci-fi horror kind of vibe, right? And I love that. I love that about Alien. I think that's super cool and fun. This movie does not do any of that. There are scenes where it sort of tries to do that, but it's just doing it because it has to. I feel like it's only doing it because it's an Alien movie. It has to do that. If they could have got away with putting none of that in this movie, they definitely would have, because this movie is too occupied with this origin of human life thing, which does not matter. I don't care. You know what I mean? And when we finally get our answers to this movie, they aren't satisfying whatsoever. They just leave you with more questions. The film literally ends with Shaw basically saying, yeah, I'm gonna go find the real answer. What? Like, why did I watch 2 hours of this film for you to just tell me, yeah, actually, I don't know the answer. Let's go find it off screen. Like, what? Yeah, I really did not like the direction that this movie took. I think overall, like, visually, this movie is stunning, and, like, the cast is really good, and everything they're doing. The music is good. Like, it's not a bad film in, like, a film sense at all. But it's just, I don't care about what's happening at all, The other films, I can care about, but this, I just couldn't care less. Hi, it's me, I'm back. I recorded most of that at 3 a.m., so I had to be a little quiet. I am here now in the broad daylight, so I can fucking say things at a regular volume. And I want to say, yeah, this movie, it is, I don't know what the intention was in making this film. My theory is that Ridley Scott just wanted to make something for himself, and that's fine. I mean, if it really makes him happy, whatever. But for me, dude, this movie, it's like so fucking bad compared to the other ones, right? And again, objectively not a bad film, alright? Most of the shit, I just mentioned it like in the other clip, most of it is like visually good, the acting is good, and the music is good. But dude, I'm not watching these films to learn about some fucking bullshit that doesn't exist, right? I don't care about any of that because none of that's going to be relevant in other Alien films. And it isn't, besides the next film, Covenant, which we will cover. But the thing is, right, besides Covenant, none of this fucking bullshit is relevant to the rest of the films. Why should I care about it? Do you know what I mean? These engineer people that we spend the entire movie learning about, we still don't know much about, and then they leave us being like, yeah, we're gonna go see it, what happens off screen. Like, what are we doing, man? And it's like, why does this guy want to destroy the Earth also? I don't know if I'm just dumb or if I'm missing something, but I'm like, are these meant to be like super high intelligent beings that came before us or whatever? Because they just sound like dumbasses to me, dude. You know what I mean? They want to destroy the Earth. As soon as that motherfucker comes back to life, he's trying to rip people's heads off. I'm like, this guy isn't smart, dude. He's a Neanderthal, dude. What the hell? Overall, I just really don't like this movie in comparison to the other ones. And if you like the movie, that's fine, okay? I want to hear your favorite parts of it. Why you like it. Let me know down below, because I'm not going to tell you can't like this movie. It's just not my thing, Alright, moving on to Covenant. Now, Covenant, you're not going to like my opinion on this one either. I don't like this film that much either. I think it is also a bunch of shit that I don't really care about. And I think that the attempt to be like, look at these cool things, they're like the xenomorphs before the xenomorphs. I also don't care about them, dude. I just want my xenomorphs. Give me my classic xenomorph. That's all I want in an alien movie, please. They also then continue David's storyline, which at least there's consistency. I was worried they were going to forget about the other movie, but they do go back to that. And apparently they went to that alien planet. I guess they found it, and they fucking killed them all for some reason. So they all died or something. I don't know. And you know, David's actually an evil guy. He's experimenting on xenomorphs apparently, or not xenomorphs, I guess, because I guess he created the xenomorph or something. I don't know. The sad thing about this film as well is I think there's really good potential for this to be a good movie. There are some scenes in there where I'm like, I'm getting some of the vibes of some of the older Alien stuff just a little bit, and sort of going on this alien planet and doing cool shit like that. It's like, oh well, maybe something cool could happen here. But it's just boring, man. It's just the same bullshit, and it's like, oh my god, he's experimenting on these creatures. Turns out he actually created the perfect organism. Oh my god, can you believe it? David created the xenomorphs. Like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, that is the dumbest fucking origin story ever, dude. That is, like, somehow worse than Prometheus. Like, what? Like I said with Prometheus, I could be wrong. I could be missing something here. You can let me know down below if you're like a die-hard Alien fan or something, or even just like a fan of these newer films. Him being the creator of the xenomorph is so dumb, dude. It's just like, really, the most like coolest creature in all of like science fiction was created by a robot. Like, come on, man. And it's like, even Prometheus had like a little bit of a better origin story. That was still a bunch of bullshit. And they were like, actually, guys, it's a mix of that and this and that and a bunch of other bullshit. And it's like, okay, really? Like, why? We don't even need that complicated of an origin for this creature. Like, we don't need to know where it was from at all. We don't need to know how it was created. We don't need to know that. We never did, and I think it's dumb that they tried to explain it. I think they wasted everyone's time. I think if there's a character or a creature that has a cool and mysterious, like, identity, we don't need to explain it, alright? And we've seen it happen horribly a bunch of times. I mean, Michael Myers did. When they try to explain that shit with a cult or whatever, it's so dumb, bro. The thing about Michael Myers is that he's scarier when you don't know where he's from or what he's doing or why he's doing it, Same with the xenomorph. The scary thing is we don't know what it is. We don't know where it's from. And learning that it was created by some fucking robot is just so dumb, dude. And also, like, I should probably talk about my other problems with the movie that isn't just the origin of the xenomorph, because maybe that's just like a personal thing. But I just think also having the xenomorph be like fully CGI is just dumb also. It's like, come on, dude. The practical effects is what made the thing, and it's like, it's still possible to do it. Now I think they are doing a great job in Romulus, which I'll talk about later, and Alien Earth, which I won't talk about because that show's still going. But as of the first few episodes, that show is amazing with the xenomorphs, and they're using practical effects, and you can tell it comes through and it looks good. Fucking CGI xenomorphs, dude. I don't know. I just hate the way the xenomorph even acts in this film. It's so dumb. But yeah, overall, I did not like this film either. I think it's a little better than Prometheus, maybe. I don't know. I think it's go either way for me. They're both pretty much the same in my eyes. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next one. The next film, this is the guess third last film for me, is Alien 3. Yeah, this movie is not very good in comparison to the other ones, especially. But, it has its alien elements. It's not completely fucking disconnected like the other ones. That's one thing. This movie is really weird. I don't know how to talk about it. I'm gonna try and think for a second. The thing that really bothered me is that they just fucking kill off all the characters that survives in Aliens, like, immediately. Which I understand why. I mean, they probably couldn't get the actors back, and I don't know, for the story it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was a little strange. I just wasn't really a huge fan of it, since Aliens is like one of my favorite movies. They just kill those characters fucking immediately. Again, though, I mean, for the story they're going for, it does make sense. I don't really understand the decision to make this a prison film where Ripley is stuck in a prison, and it's like, I don't know, this fucking shitty space prison that is horrible, has like no working things, everything's fucked up and dumb, and the lighting's terrible, and it doesn't even look sci-fi, like it's too industrial looking. I don't know. But like, this movie isn't awful. There are some aspects of it that are pretty good. I think the whole like last 15 minutes of the movie maybe are like very good. I think the xenomorph is pretty good in this film. It's probably the most we see it in the first three. Probably the most we see the xenomorph in general, because I feel like even in Aliens, you don't really see it that much. You see the Queen a lot more than the regular xenomorph. So I think seeing the xenomorph a lot more in this film was very cool. Even if the CGI looked a little shitty sometimes, what can you expect for a movie of this time period? The practical xenomorph in this film looks pretty good. Of course, there's an iconic shot with Sigourney Weaver and the xenomorph, or Ripley and the xenomorph, where it's like right against her face or whatever the fuck. So the xenomorph is pretty decent in this film. I can't knock that. I think they did a good job. Also, the POV shots are pretty cool and things like that. And probably the best part of this movie is Ripley herself. Obviously, I mean, there's not much else going for this movie. I think a lot of the characters are kind of shitty and just not very good or interesting. But Ripley herself is obviously the best character in this film. I think Sigourney Weaver does a great job again, and just her mindset in this film of just like basically wanting to die the whole time and get rid of this queen or whatever, and how her ending really happens. I think that makes a lot of sense for the character of Ripley, and that is one thing where I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I think Ripley would go out like that. Like, that makes sense for her and whatnot. The only thing that kind of annoys me about that is the fact that then she is back in the next film, and of course she's not she's not Ripley in the next film. She's like a clone or whatever. We'll get into that when we talk about it, but I don't know. Doing that sort of ending where she sacrifices herself and then going back on it kind of pisses me off. I think a lot of movies do that where they regret killing off a character, but yeah, I think for this film, the ending makes a lot of sense. I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty cinematic. She falls back into that lava and shit. I like that a lot. Probably my favorite part of the movie. Again, last like 10 minutes of the film were probably the best. Since there's like so much to get through in this video, I don't want to waste too much time on this movie because I don't think there's really that much to say. But one more thing I do want to mention is, why was it a dog? Why was it a dog that got the face hugger? Obviously, I don't want to see a dog get fucking killed in a film, right? But at the same time, I get it. But also, I don't get it, because why? Why did that happen? There was no changes as far as I could tell. I thought maybe they were going to go for like a hybrid kind of xenomorph or something that had like some more dog tendencies. And as far as I can see, that xenomorph is no different. So I don't understand the decision to make it a dog. I don't know. It was weird. I don't get that part of the movie. But overall, the movie was fine. Not my favorites, but it's better than Prometheus and Covenant somehow. So I'll give it that. The next film is Alien Resurrection. I already know a lot of people are going to be very mad at me for putting this movie above all those other movies that I just talked about, alright? Now, I just gotta say, y'all are fucking sleeping on this movie, alright? This is better than half of that bullshit. I know it's weird, I know it's wacky, I know the camera angles are on fucking drugs, but this movie is better than Prometheus, in my opinion. I went into this movie expecting to hit it, alright? I just understand that. I didn't expect to like this film at all. And it was a ton of fun. And that's... Even if a movie is objectively not very good, if it's fun, I will enjoy it. And this movie is definitely fun. Alright, so we have Ripley clone. We have Winona Ryder as a synthetic. That just spoiled the entire movie, but I mean, this whole video is a spoiler, so... whatever. It has, the fucking hybrid clone Ripley xenomorph thing at the end. It has just a bunch of random wacky bullshit that's fun, okay, and that's what I enjoy about it. We also get Ripley shooting hoops for some reason. I mean, it's fun, right? It's dumb, but it's fun. And it's just a fun movie. I also think there's some pretty cool scenes in there. I mean, you have the underwater scene. That whole sequence is pretty fun and like action heavy, and I miss that in these movies, right? You look at Prometheus, right? There is no fun action or any of that kind of shit. It's just blah, 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 engineer, fucking human life, origins bullshit, man. I don't care. This movie is just fun and easy to watch, right? It's not very smart or anything, but it's fun, alright? And that's truly what I appreciate about it. It's fun, weird, and very much a product of its time, but, it's fun. Every time I do these talking videos, man, I say the word fun way too many times, and I just realized that watching that clip that you just heard. But anyways, it's a new drinking game. Take a shot every time I say fun, because you will be dead by the end of the night. This movie, Brad Dourif's character is fucking weird and crazy and wacky, right? He's a silly guy. And I love Brad Dourif, as you know, the other video that I just referenced, the Chucky video. Come on, man, Brad Dourif. So, his character in there just talking about some beautiful butterfly bullshit. there's also like a surprising amount of, well, not gore, but it's a little bit more violent than some of the other films, which is kind of cool. And like you have like some of those scenes where the xenomorph bursts through the guy's chest and through the guy's head or whatever. That's pretty cool. You have things like that, and you also have some cool like almost body horror elements with the clones being all like deformed and like she has to fucking murder them, like put them out of their misery. Like that's some cool shit for like a alien movie, right? Especially like a fucking random one like this. So, again, this movie is dumb as shit. It makes no sense at times, but you know what? It is a fun time. And also, yeah, why did that giant alien hybrid get fucking the most brutal death out of any xenomorph in the franchise when he's really just well, I wouldn't say he's a normal guy, but he's a little more human, literally. But yeah, I really don't think there's much else I can say about this film. Again, very controversial putting that in fourth place, but dude, it is my opinion. I think that's true to me. So yeah, that movie goes there in fourth place. We're moving on to the next film. In third place, we have none other than Alien Romulus. Now, dude, this movie is awesome. I seen it in the theaters, and again, but by the point that I seen this, I'd only seen like the first two Alien movies, which I think is fine. I think it actually works well with the setting and when this movie takes place and stuff. But yeah, this movie, dude, it is awesome. It is one of the greatest Alien films. Definitely the greatest in recent years, dude. Way better than Prometheus and Covenant, in my opinion. I don't know what the fuck Ridley Scott was smoking, because that shit sucked. But this was very good, dude. And the director of this film also directed Evil Dead 2013, which is another movie that I love. Let me know if you want to see a video about Evil Dead. I could talk about Evil Dead easily. Yeah, there's a lot of franchises I could talk about. Let me know about that. I'll be quiet. I'll get back to the point. So Alien Romulus goes back to the roots of the original two films. More specifically, the first film. I feel like this is very like inspired by that first movie, but it still has some of those more actiony like moments that second movie would have too. But this film is just so good. It is like cinema wise, like cinematography and just how this film's shot, the lighting, everything. It's so good, and the horror is there. The xenomorphs are cool. They're practical. The face huggers are cool, and the fucking hybrid thing at the end of this film is incredible, terrifying looking. By the way, when you first see that thing, you're like, damn, okay, we're doing this. So yeah, it's such a good movie, especially in comparison to some of the other things that we've talked about in this video, dude. This is easily the best thing that we've talked about so far, and it's great. This movie also has like memorable characters. It's not completely forgettable like some of the other films in this franchise. Rin is a really cool protagonist. She is really cool in this movie. You also have Andy, which again, really cool character. You get to see two different versions of him almost when he gets that chip in his brain or whatever. David Johnson, I believe, is the actor who plays him. He did a great job with Andy, because that guy did. He can be a real dick when he got that thing in his head, but you do feel bad for him too. It's good. On screen right now, yeah, Isabella Merced, she's amazing in this movie as well. Everyone is great at acting in this film. Like it's a well done movie. There are just some really cool sequences and things that happen. And overall, it's a simple but well done alien film that is definitely the best that I've seen in recent years. And I think probably the best film that we'll probably get like in this kind of like decade of alien films, honestly. This film's so good that I genuinely don't know what else to say about it. Like, some of the other films I can rant on about random things within the movie, but I think this movie's like too good to even complain about. There's not many issues that I have with it. I just think it's real good, and I think everyone should watch it. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it, because if you haven't seen Romulus and you're an Alien fan, I highly recommend checking it out, because it is fucking miles better than Prometheus and Covenant, I'll tell you that. In second place, possibly controversially, is Alien. Alright, Alien, not Aliens. I think Aliens, I'll get into it when we talk about it, but yeah. Alien, of course, this is a fucking classic, dude. This is a amazing film, right? And I honestly don't know how Ridley Scott fell off so hard, guys. He had to bring up Prometheus again, but how do you fall off that hard? Anyways, yeah, Alien is an amazing movie. It is so ahead of its time in like so many ways. It's so good. Again, how it's shot, the lighting, the atmosphere, the music, the cast are all doing a really good job. Like Sigourney Weaver is incredible in this film, and like just everything. It's just so good, man. Of course, it's almost harder to talk about a movie like this because it's so good. There's nothing really I can say that's like negative about it, and anything I can say that's positive about it is not something that hasn't been said. If that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, just everything about this film. It's also like the mystery as well, which is one thing that Prometheus fucking ruins, by the way, because in this film, when they go in and they find the eggs, there's that thing which we later find out in Prometheus is like the engineer's like space suit or whatever. Seeing that thing for the first time and being like, oh, what is this? All this kind of mystery. That is awesome, dude. Having that explained away in that film is so annoying, bro. Like, I genuinely don't know why he did that. This movie is so good. I actually think Prometheus is like a stand to this franchise, honestly. It's insane. Also, I mean, we got Jonesy in here, dude. We got the cat. The cat survives. Like, it's so good, man. There's so many great moments in this film, so many iconic, like, scenes as well, right? It's so good. It is honestly, like, it's a tie for me, honestly. Like, Alien and Aliens, it could go either way for, like, which is the best, right? But yeah, it's incredible. I honestly have nothing else to say about it. Really good movie. No notes. And coming in at first place is, of course, Aliens. Now, this is my favorite Alien film of all time. Again, very close with Aliens, so, it's not like this movie is, like, better than Alien. I think they're honestly pretty tied. But you can't do that in a ranking video, so Aliens takes the crown for me. No pun intended, Queen, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, no, Aliens is an amazing movie. Having these, like, Marines and stuff and people to kill off in that sense makes it really fun. Having way more xenomorphs than just one is really cool and interesting. And I think they did it right because there's ways you could do that where it wouldn't be as good or they don't seem as much of a threat or something just because there's so many and, they're killable or whatever. But I think they did it really well in this film. And I think there's a lot of just really cool things. Again, Jonesy is in this film again. Gotta love to see Jonesy again. And that entire end sequence with the Queen and just everything that happens in like last like 10 minutes of the film is incredible as well. So it's just so good. The sets and the practical effects and all that kind of stuff in this movie, so good. It is just the sci-fi elements, the vents, the lights, the guns, the uniforms, the xenomorphs, everything looks incredible. Everything feels like how it should. Some of those sequels don't have the correct feeling. Alien 3, for example, it goes too much into like the weird industrial prison where it doesn't feel sci-fi enough. Or like Prometheus is way too modern looking when it's supposed to be set before everything. But this film captures it perfectly and almost does something new at the same time, and it's just so good. Also, the characters aren't just complete fucking random people. They're actually cool and interesting. Even some of the Marines are pretty good characters. Like, it's actually good. They have good and interesting characters. Even the sort of bad guys, people that you don't like in this film, are, like, well written and, like, make sense as people, And that's awesome. And Ripley's sheer dedication to Newt, I don't know how to say it. The sheer dedication to that little girl that she found is insane, right? Going all the way down the depths to find her. It's so good. It's such a great ending, and just incredible film. I don't really have much else to say about this film either, but I do want to say one thing that's really dumb and silly. I find it really funny how the Queen Xenomorph took a fucking elevator to get back up there. That's hilarious, dude. What? Also, the fact that it was on that ship and they didn't see it, it's like 10 feet tall, and they never seen the giant xenomorph queen that like snuck onto the ship with them. That's kind of dumb, but it's great. It's fun. That damn forklift suit thing, that the mech thing, that's cool. That fight at the end with the queen, it's so good, man. Great film. Yeah, definitely my favorite. I think. Again, very close though with Alien. And yeah, guys, that is my ranking of the Alien films. Again, controversial, I think. I think it's not like an opinion that everyone has. I do think mine is definitely a little controversial. But let me know what you guys think. If you like Prometheus, if you think it's the best movie ever made, let me know down below. Or vice versa. If you hate Aliens, let me know. I'm curious what you guys think. So yeah, that is my ranking of the Alien films. I don't know if anybody asked for me to do this, but I wanted to make it. So yeah, let me know if you want to see me ranking the other franchises as well, because I am totally down to do that. I'm having tons of fun doing stuff like this. I love movies, and I love doing I love yapping, clearly. This video is way too long, but yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.